Fragranze 16 is over and we are full of impressions. So now we will share with you some thoughts and some our favorites from the show. Oh, I think, Miguel, this is the brightest bottle, so maybe we will start from it.
Yes, so one of my biggest joys was to smell what is, in my opinion, the best fragrance from Unum from ever, by Filippo Sorcinelli. And this is, I can see that can be quite challenging for many people. And it is based on the idea of blood, but also of passion and emotion, and it has a lot of spices and iris and aromatics to go with it, and it brings me back to some vintage perfumery with a touch of daringness from today.
The name, it
And
says
it's
it all.
But Not Today. So it's a reference to Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal movie. It's kind of scary, the idea, but the fragrance is not so scary.
Quite disturbing though.
Disturbing,
maybe
of
not
course.
for every day.
Yes, maybe not for every day. That could be the name also.
What was the most common ingredient at the show? What do you think? Incense.
Rose,
Always.
there's
Leather.
always rose, of course.
Maybe in combination.
Yeah.
So for me it was two big trends. If actually trends, I wouldn't say that there were any trends actually, but the most often what I met was incense and some aquatic, powdery, heliotrope, pleasing stuff. So kind of two absolutely contrast things, right?
And there's maybe we see less and less oud, and more we come back to classical and a pleasant fragrance.
Vintage style was quite
classic,
common.
Yes.
And also aquatic. Every brand has an aquatic
Yes,
fragrance now, and 5 years ago it would be almost impossible to find an aquatic.
And now they mix aquatic with sweet nuts, woody
green.
nuts. Yes.
Aquatic
With
green.
fruits.
Yeah, and fruits.
Leather even.
What examples? What for fruity, wet fragrances like Fragonard, Coeur de Soleil, one of them casual, nice fragrance. There were new brands, completely new, brand new, with that sort of fragrances like.
Oman Luxury, for example, they had that green fragrance.
Oh yes, if you want green, you will get it from this brand. Harsh green, very very green. And the new brand that you were talking about, the Ribaci.
It's quite classical style, but well made. They don't have real aquatic nuts, but they have green and pine and a little bit fruity, made by blackberry by Cain Chevalier. They have flowers, but not wood, not
Osmanthus. It's so common.
Very good.
Yes.
Osmanthus and Ylang Ylang were at least three
White
fragrances.
flowers, yes.
Sirop.
Yes.
It's amazing. The name of the fragrance is Masqué. And the fragrance,
like that
the
one.
best Osmanthus. Oh no, the best Ylang Ylang. Actually, I smelled at the show, and now it's competing. I mean, my preference competing with Paris Monte Carlo, because before it was the most realistic Ylang Ylang in that perfume, and now I kind of thinking maybe Masqué is better. I mean, it's definitely more variable.
Also,
For
the
sure.
whole line is very inspiring because it's a vintages who have been revived and modernized. The line was from the 20s and it was named after a Paris nightclub. All the names of the fragrances are kept original, and the formulas are tried to mimic those from the 20s.
But
So,
not exact like
not
imitation.
exactly the modern version, and I think they're all really well done.
And the packaging, I think that it's a very smart revival of the brand.
Yes.
the brand, yes.
So you don't feel old.
Yes, and especially besides Masque, I would also like to mention La Chypre du Nil and also Chevalier de Nuit, because I think that is amazing.
Sandrina, Sanya, извини. Sanya, thinking about modern fragrances,
Yeah.
it reminded me immediately about Regime de Fleur
Mhm.
because you liked it. So
Yes.
and you too.
Yeah, Régine de
Yes.
Fleur for me was also
But
one
that's
of
a
the
new
best
direction,
experience.
right? They
Yes, a new
they started
concept.
with plants and
Yeah.
flowers, and now it's actually one collection is also Hawaiian flowers and nature, but the other one is such a complex. Those little things, extrait de
Yes.
parfum.
With great vibrant
You
fluorescent
smell
colors.
too, right?
Yes,
These
but
little ones, but they are so complex. I mean, comparing to the first collection and the second, especially collection, these little things are so complex, and you just follow the idea because it's complex background and also the structure, so you can smell lots of things.
For me, it was the first time I smelled them, so it was a full surprise from beginning to end. And that Pittosporum fragrance called Golden Leaves, so simple because it's just based in one flower, but it's one flower that there is no extraction. So the perfumer made a headspace of the flower and the reconstruction, and I have those flowers near my place, near where I live, and it really smelled like that. Jasmine, orange blossom, indolic, citrusy flowers. So good. Very good experience.
And before we start drinking champagne, Sandrina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we
You
started
like this
drinking
note.
champagne, there's several champagne fragrances at the fair this year. Caron was repacked, the whole collection, but they say over here the formula remains the same. We will check that, of course.
Not
But
true.
Infini is amazing. It's classical and modern at the same time, with fruity and champagne notes.
There's a problem with Infini. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Caron, but
Yeah.
Infini was a cheaper fragrance from the
Yes.
or a green floral from the 70s,
Yeah.
with a great geometric bottle. I think it was Pierre Dinant's design. And they say they lost the formula. I don't believe it.
No.
But they just released Infini, but it's a different bottle, different nothing,
Nothing to
to do, but
Right.
kept the name.
Yeah.
It's confusing, but the fragrance is still. I mean,
The fragrance
they
is good.
just keep going.
Yeah, they keep going, even though they are for sale as.
That's strange situation. So I think
Yeah.
we will
We will.
we will
Yes.
hear the news.
Yeah.
After Cannes. Wait for us. Wait
Yeah.
for us. Yeah.
The other one is Chypre Mojo. We
yeah.
tried all
We tried
today.
together, yes.
Yeah, and
It was
I think
good one.
we all love it,
Yeah.
really. It's also
Parle-moi de
modern.
parfum.
Parle-moi de
Yeah.
parfum, yeah. It's also
Of course.
it's so nice.
Yes, it's a good modern ship.
And it's Michel Almirac.
Almirac.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
actually, all fragrances of this brand is absolutely fabulous. They
I
are
love it also.
wearable. They are so the new lilac fragrance.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's it's amazingly
Totally
wearable,
white.
beautiful,
Totally white.
and
Yeah.
it's very
I
natural.
like it a lot.
Yeah.
A great combination. So you definitely have to try
Yeah.
fragrances by this brand. Hysteria,
Yeah.
because people usually, I mean, who likes very characteristic, strong perfumes with the mood. The first name is Lorraine Masson. So Hysteria, what can you say? It's
didn't smell.
it's a night in the club. So hysteric. I'm sorry, that's hysteric. The name. So it's cognac, whiskey, coffee. Most probably to keep going. Yeah, cacao. So it's a complex, warm, not disturbing, but very bright fragrance
Oh yeah. Yes.
with so multifaceted. I would
Yeah.
say. Something for
From Champagne.
another one.
No. From Champagne, we can go to light fragrances, but aquarelle ones.
Yeah,
It was aquarelles and
quite-
colorful. From Regime de Fleur, new collection. Beautiful.
Sorry.
one.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Bold colors. I
Yeah.
mean, beautiful packaging. Not really chic or something, but
No.
fun.
Not
Yeah.
very serious, but
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we lacked in niche, I think. Fun, just not going to the luxury of gold and crystals and everything that we were seeing year after year. And now they're trying to go past this and to bring fun back to perfumery.
That's true. That's
Something
true.
Like Blackbird, right?
Olfactory,
Yes, like Blackbird.
and design. Olfactory and design. They come back. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Even the fragrances, sometimes you see more joie de vivre in the fragrances, some sparkling floral notes that were more characteristic of 90s perfumery
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
Mia
Yes.
Shimna has a collection,
Oh,
new
yeah,
collection,
I can talk for forever.
which is connected
about
with the
her.
colors. And
Yeah, unfortunately, they were all stolen, by
Yes,
the way.
before
From-
the fair.
Yeah, before the fair.
Before the fair.
But the best is, I mean, fragrance is amazing. Try it on skin exclusively, because from a
Yeah.
blotter you
Ah.
will not get an idea. And the boxes, they click. Oh my god, they are very light. They're made of wood, lacquered in Japan, and when you open and close it, the sound is very sweet. So you just want to do it.
Many times.
Yes, so that's actually, for me, it's one of the great combination of the image, the design, and fragrances. Very well done. So,
On another note, I would like to. I always like to point out negative aspects.
oh yes, let's do that.
And
we
we
have
were
to.
talking about Parlement Parfum. So great master perfumers. And so there is also Alberto Morillas with Mise en Cire, which I smelled for the first time.
Yeah, and I'm not. So
And I can't
convinced.
say they are bad fragrances,
no,
because
no.
they are not. But they are
It's a bit boring.
so boring, uninspired,
I
so
disagree.
okay.
But
We-
But
we are-
very
I do
wearable
agree
at
with
the
you.
same
Yes,
time.
yes, me
We
too.
are all
And
very
I
different.
love Alberto
Especially
Morillas,
the
but
new one.
yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
the new one like Rose Epinay or Epinay de Rose, something like that. It's really,
Epinay,
really cool, rock chic metallic rose, and the inspiration was the danger of the thorns of the rose. So it's green, it's sharp, it's rose, it's wearable. I think it's marketable, and I like most of the fragrances from the brand. Yeah.
I think
But-
it's
So
just
I
an
disagree.
approach.
I don't
For
think
example,
it's boring.
ouds.
Yes, the oud
Or
collection
several
also
roses. So
fabulous.
this oud,
Yes.
perfect oud, ideal oud, and
Yeah.
original oud, and tender oud. So it's kind of
The same
exploration of the
meaning.
trend, and it's most probably it's very interesting for those who like oud or for perfumers. But yeah, it also gives that annoying feeling
Yeah.
of boredom,
Yeah.
right?
But I think it's probably very, very well done because he's a great perfumer. But yes.
But I couldn't help but thinking, okay, this could be like a 50 euros fragrance from Sephora. I'm sorry.
Most probably, yeah. It's getting dark, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
we will
Bye.
just stop here and we will report about all interesting that we smelled at the fair
After
just
champagne.
a little later.
After champagne.
Yeah.